We need to get out of here.
Did you dispatch it?
Frost cut it.
Now its friends are right behind us.
Start the car.
Hurry up! We're surrounded by zombies!
How much longer is this going to take?
Just a couple of minutes.
You said that half an hour ago.
Aha! Oh. This can't be right.
What can't be right? Why have you been scanning me?
There's nothing. Your temporal signature is in sync with this universe. And so is the TARDIS, and so am I.
Well, that's good, right?
Well, that would depend on your definition of good. I was expecting something to be out of whack.
Can I get out of this thing now?
I expected some variation.
Variation in what?
The time experiment. And before that, the Daleks destabilized everything. We haven't jumped a time track, we've jumped at a whole alternative timeline.
Why are we going to Earth? In my time?
I need to find out how far this goes.
Well, any update yet?
Yes, sir. Trap 2 has arrived at the instant. They are proceeding to investigate with due caution.
Who would be stupid enough to open their nightclub, let alone anyone want to go there given the current situation?
It's Friday evening, sir. Boys will be boys.
Any more on Frost, or whatever he's calling himself today?
Trap 2 tracked him down in his two accomplices to the embankment before they were diverted to the London Bridge incident.
How many nests have been logged at Embankment?
3 at least. You think Frost is going to go after them?
Who knows what goes through that man's head? If he makes it out alive, I want to question him.
All looks fine to me.
Given recent events, there's bound to be something amiss.
Oh, you seem very positive about that.
Some things are certain, so the rest I'm not sure about. So, when exactly did you come back aboard the TARDIS?
You don't remember?
Indulge me.
We met again when those Hydra things crash-landed near Clearbrook. I live there.
And wasn't one of the victims of the Hydra suits a travelling companion of mine?
You were travelling alone. The people infected were all from the village.
We did deal with them. The Hydra, I mean.
Of course we did. I lured them into the church. You were forced to pilot the alien shuttle into the building with the engine core ready to detonate. You barely ejected in time to escape the explosion.
What? That doesn't sound like me. I must have been desperate to do something so reckless.
Oh, you were. If you hadn't stopped them, the whole planet would have been converted by now. I came back aboard the TARDIS after that. Oh, what does it take?
It's not you, it's... Oh, never mind. I'll figure it out later. You're here now.
So where are we? Or did the TARDIS dump us somewhere at random again?
Oi, be nice to her. If she brought us here, she probably had a reason. Apparently these are the Magnus Blake Memorial Archives.
Well, that certainly answers one question. Now, why should we care?
How should I know? Shall we find out?
Should we be doing this?
What do you mean?
I mean, breaking in.
Business as usual. When did you stop being fun? You obviously had a practice. There's no one around.
Is it... What time is it?
Around 9:30, I'd say.
You know, you're infuriating when you do things like that. Well, it is evening. It's obviously shut.
I set the coordinates for London. The chartist chose the specific location to land. I've never been here before, so why should she choose here?
I'm sorry, but the archive is now closed for today.
Hello, I'm the Doctor, and this is, Caroline. She's my, research assistant.
The majority of our members are doctors and research assistants, sir. Members being the significant word, as is closed. Public areas are open strictly between 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m, unless you are a member.
Doctor, have you got your membership card? In your pocket? Out of practice, am I?
Oh, yes, of course. Here it is.
Sir, that paper is blank.
Really? Oh, so it is. I must have left the real card in my other jacket. I assure you, I am a member.
Well, if you are the doctor, you're 20 minutes early. Mr. Frost is expecting you, but...
Excuse me?
I'm Dorothy Kent, Mr. Frost's personal assistant. Well, everyone's personal assistant, given the current crisis. The main door was locked. I checked it myself. I presume you used your wand to enter?
My what?
Oh, sorry. Your sonic screwdriver.
Yes?
If you'd care to follow me, please.
Your wand?
Come in.
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
What is it?
Falcon 1 has spotted Frost and his accomplice, sir.
Where?
They left the embankment about 20 minutes ago. They drove right up to our front door, then turned and headed for home.
Our front door?
Yes, sir.
He stopped outside our front door. The goal of that man. I presume no one has been outside since his visit?
Sir?
I suspect Mr. Frost has left us a calling card.
I'll get someone onto it.
With caution, Captain. It could be a live one.
How come she can see that the psychic paper's blank?
Some exceptional minds are capable of seeing what's really there. But then again, there are other ways.
This archive is without equal, Doctor. It holds a collection of unique and dangerous artifacts. All members and staff receive training to resist mental deceptions, especially useful given the current crisis.
A crisis? You mentioned that earlier. What sort of crisis?
You don't know?
We've only just arrived.
Ah, of course. In your travelling box. Still, never mind. You'll know about it soon enough. Mr. Frost will explain.
I'm sorry. Who is Mr. Frost? I don't recognise the name.
Oh, well, perhaps he used a different name when you met. To us, he is currently known as Mr. Frost.
And is that his real name?
No, it is not his real name, but it is the name by which he is currently addressed. He'll be waiting for you.
You're not coming?
I have my own work to attend to.
I'd love to say it was a surprise to see you, Doctor, but I'm afraid that would be something of an untruth. Indeed, I suspect I knew you were coming here long before you did.
Mr. Frost, I presume.
Quite so. You will, of course, forgive my use of a covert identity.
Forgive me, your voice is somewhat familiar, though I can't quite see your face.
Then let me assist.
Alexei Roshenko.
You bring me silence, Doctor. The voices are gone. This place is free from tortured souls.
There is something on the other side.
Not exactly, but yes, I once answered to that name.
You swap one false name for another.
Indeed. A good friend once asked what was in a name and an accent. The accent was indeed completely superfluous. But names have tremendous power, as you well know, Doctor.
Point taken.
It is actually fortuitous that you keep your name obfuscated at this time. It prevents detection on the psychic plane. We of the Archive have elected to keep our true names secret. Our pseudonyms are changed on a regular basis.
Must be difficult to remember what everyone's called, not to mention keeping the membership list up to date.
You're not Macy.
Oh, not you as well. No, I'm not. I'm Caroline.
Doctor, what happened to...
I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Moving on, let's talk about something else. What's this crisis that Miss Kent spoke of?
I wonder if that's the reason you're here, whether you know it or not. This city is in the grip of evil, Doctor. The dead have arisen and roam the dark places, attacking indiscriminately.
So you've got a zombie epidemic. How many days is it till Halloween?
Would that the explanation were so simple. You see, the city is being attacked by a necromancer.
No, it isn't, because, and I'm surprised that I have to point this out, there is no such thing.
Whoa, that was wild!
You and Frost got all the fun, while I played designated driver. Tell me again.
Frost was amazing. The way he dispatched it. Crucifix straight to the face.
I want to try the Xena cards.
What, now?
I want to see what effect adrenaline has on the results.
Okay. Star. Square. Wavy lines.
Evidence would appear to suggest otherwise, Doctor.
So, witness statements claiming disturbed and empty graves, bodies missing from morgues, photos of zombies, patterns of manifestations and dates going back several months. I'm surprised the government hasn't tried to hush this up.
At first they did, but only the tabloids are still running the story, which isn't exactly a surprise.
How come the authorities aren't involved?
Oh, they are, for a given value of involved, but the attacks are somewhat sporadic in nature and always happen at night. A voluntary curfew has been set up. Even so, the brave and the foolhardy still venture out. During the day, everyone seems safe. People carry on their daily lives.
The human condition of pretending nothing's wrong. As long as they don't witness anything out of the ordinary, they're willing to live in denial.
So what do you think? Alien invasion?
Triggering mass hallucination? It's possible. Maybe someone's faking these undead with holograms to scare the populace away.
What if some biological or mechanical agent's being used to make the corpses move about?
Closed-mindedness doesn't become you. We have already considered these possibilities and found no evidence for them. Having eliminated mundane explanations...
Alien invasion is not a mundane explanation.
Quite. Still, having eliminated scientific stimuli for these occurrences, we are pursuing remaining options, however implausible you may find them. Every undead entity we have encountered here thus far has been steeped in psychic energy.
To animate an army of cadavers simultaneously would require levels of psychic energy beyond comprehension in purely scientific terms.
Clearly, someone is drawing power from elsewhere to achieve their purposes, hence magic, hence a necromancer.
Mr. Frost, I'm not saying I don't believe in psychic energy. I just don't believe it's being used to make corpses walk around.
Yes, of course, Minister. Goodbye. Well?
You're right, sir. Frost has left us a present. It has already been terminated. We're getting it to the PATH lab for examination.
I wanted him to accompany us in obtaining a specimen, not do the job for us.
Falcon Run reports Frost has already returned to the archive.
Then we keep our distance, as instructed. I still want to talk to him.
Falcon 1 also reports...
Out with it, man!
They've spotted something. In the grounds of the archive. A police box.
Tell all units to be on the lookout for the Doctor. If he's here, well, you know.
Yes, sir. Sir? Which Doctor are they supposed to be on the lookout for?
You don't have a case, Frost. You have a hypothesis. A jumped gun. Wild speculation coloured by your own experiences and beliefs. Which, admittedly, is all I have, but believe me, you can't control a dead body with energy that's generated from a living brain.
Hence the conclusion that it is being fueled by magic.
That's bad deduction, though. You've got evidence for much of what's going on, but what have you got to actually prove the bit about the necromancer?
Well, it is only a hypothesis.
That's the thing with occultists. You don't categorise well. You believe in everything. Magic, psionics, ley lines, ghosts and monsters. But you don't necessarily test these things to make sure that they're all the same thing. Tell you what, though. I'll accept that you've picked up traces of psychic energy from these things.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm glad to see you're keeping an open mind in this investigation.
I am if you are. Besides, they might just look like the undead.
Hey, if it walks like a zombie, groans like a zombie, and eats brains like a zombie...
This isn't some cheap horror movie. These creatures cannot be quelled with a blast from a shotgun. Lives are at stake.
Work with me here, Mr. Frost. These things may be an alien invasion covered by a perception filter. Sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, after all.
And what of sufficiently advanced magic?
Touché.
Good, so we're all friends here. What are we going to do?
Well, I'm going to start from scratch with the scientific approach. If that's all right with Mr. Frost here, he can pursue the paranormal investigations and hopefully we'll meet somewhere in the middle.
Meaning?
time for a recce. Let's go and look for the undead.
I would be wary. The zombies take a lot of punishment before they go down.
I want to examine one, not kill it.
You may have little choice. Once you find them, they will try to kill you.
Leaving us so soon, Doctor?
Only temporarily.
We're going zombie hunting.
Is that entirely wise?
Probably not, but London wasn't burned without someone striking a match.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, Pudding Lane.
Oh yeah, you have got previous, haven't you?
Who is that man?
We've never felt such power before, not even from you.
That was the Doctor. You may have heard me mention him before.
You said he was a traveller?
An outsider?
He's many things and more besides.
You believe he can help?
His scientific knowledge is superior to ours. He may yet discover information our expertise cannot.
What is this man's background exactly?
He's an alien.
An alien? Preposterous.
Now who's being closed-minded?
Yes? Thank you, Miss Kent. Greyhound does mean something. It appears I am needed elsewhere. I will be departing imminently.
How are you feeling?
Still buzzing.
Good. Let's try something else.
Such as?
Scrying. There's an ordnance survey map of London here somewhere.
What was all that stuff about false names?
Ah,
And faith as a defence?
old magic.
I thought you didn't believe in magic.
All right, old science then.
Is there such a thing?
Dark alleyway. Seems a good place to start.
Doctor?
There's a high concentration of psychic energy coming from down there.
Doctor!
In fact, there's a general increase in psychic energy in the whole area. Right, here we go.
Will they attack?
I think so. They seem to be homing in on us.
Right, let's hope I can remember my unit training. It's been a while.
When did you work for Unit?
I worked, past tense. They offered me a job when I stayed behind on Earth, right up to the point I got divorced. CO figured having two operatives having blazing rows rather than deal with alien threats wasn't exactly contributing to defence of the realm.
It's a long time since I've used Ulisa and Aikido.
Oh god, they don't stay down long, do they?
No, they don't!
Doctor, what are you doing?
They're certainly adverse to a psychic barrier. Not as much as I think they should be. You'll also notice the Headless One knows exactly where to find us, despite the fact that he shouldn't have any of the senses necessary to do so.
Fascinating, Doctor. Have you noticed they're trying to kill us yet?
Blimey! He broke his neck! Macy never broke anyone's neck!
Doctor, not a good time.
Civilians down!
Check them. Are you two hurt?
I thought so. You're with Unit.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. I'm the Doctor, and this is,
Yes, sir. We are here to take you back to unit.
So, the Doctor enters the game. Let's see if he lives up to his reputation.
Doctor, there was someone on the roof over there watching us.
I know. I spotted her during the attack. Might have been someone controlling the things.
Fits Frost's theory, then?
Don't tell him that. He'll never let me hear the end of it. She looked humanoid, but more than that I couldn't say.
So, human or not human?
I need a better look at her. Not much for speculation.
You've already decided it's a woman.
So I have.
Hello, I'm the Doctor. As in, the Doctor.
What? As in...
Yes, as in. Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that, Caroline?
Pretty sure you did, Doctor.
My apologies, Doctor. I wasn't informed you were in the building.
Only just arrived. Just sort of, happened. And please, don't salute. I just thought I ought to see what progress you made about the crisis.
I'm afraid there's not much to impress you with.
A big organisation like Unit, with all the resources at your disposal, you must have achieved something.
What research we've done hasn't provided us with much to tell, if you care to follow me.
I see him. Do you think he saw us?
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Where do you think he's going?
I don't know. Still, it leaves us here alone.
What did you have in mind?
Hey, no peeking.
I didn't have to.
Kindly sever your link to me before you start making googly eyes at each other.
We acquired this one a few hours ago. Initial pathology. Caucasian male, about mid-30s. It seems a post-mortem examination has already been performed in the cadaver's past, quite a while ago. Our examiners just unpicked the stitching and opened it up again.
Did they find anything unexpected?
Not really. The subject has been dead for several months. We're checking his dental records to see if we can identify him. Original cause of death appears to have been overdose, probably suicide.
And his second demise?
You'll note there's a hole in his face. When we found it, that crucifix was in there. I can't begin to understand how. We've got military-grade weaponry, and they all but shrug it off. This one takes an ornament to the face and goes down.
I suspect it wasn't the weapon itself that dealt the deadly blow. It was the faith of the person that wielded it.
Come again?
Oh, never mind. Was there anything inside the body that shouldn't have been there? Any machinery or unexplained growth of tissue?
We can't offer any reason for the corpses getting up and moving, or for what purpose they would be doing so. It's like magic.
Do you believe in magic?
I never used to, but I'm running out of explanations.
Have you noticed anything else unusual? Any strange sightings? A woman in a fur coat?
Nothing like that. There was a...
We're listening.
One of our patrols got attacked. They reported over the radios that it was like a moving pile of bones, and then we lost contact. The men were killed, torn apart. Why did you ask about a woman?
Someone, we think a woman, watched us getting attacked. A friend of ours thinks there's a person controlling the attacks.
What friend are you referring to?
She's referring to me.
Mr. Frost, when did you get here?
Not long after you did.
You followed us?
Not exactly. With your connections to UNIT, it was obvious that sooner or later you would be consulted.
Mr. Frost was invited to join the Scientific Advisory Commission 2 weeks ago. The others didn't like it since he's, not exactly a scientist. But our real scientists are making no progress, and he's, demonstrated his credentials admirably.
What did you do?
I gave everyone in the room detailed and accurate descriptions of their childhoods, whispered their best-kept secrets to them, and then predicted the near future with perfect accuracy.
Forgive me. It appears your abilities have increased somewhat since we last met.
You gave me clarity, Doctor. Something I had been lacking. And now with the resources of the Archive and UNIT, it puts me in a position to gather as many pieces of the puzzle as possible. Sooner or later, the solution will present itself.
All that information at your disposal, yet you maintain this is all due to necromancy.
Here we go again.
A psychic is only as strong as their mind is able to cope with the power at its disposal. Magic is different. It comes from using one's psychic prowess to wield energies beyond oneself. Where the energy used in magic comes from remains poorly understood.
Mostly because the people who are exploring these phenomena are confusing psychic energy with sorcery. Psionics and magic are not the same thing.
Some adepts claim their energies are borrowed from the natural world around them. Others boast of access to a cosmic ether. Yet others wield powers that seem to come from outside all concept of space and dimension. These powers operate outside the normal realms of psychic possibility. The problem stems from the idea that the source of such power should not exist, nor should their manipulation be possible on a psychic level.
Mr. Frost?
Doctor?
Had I known you acknowledged the scientific division between psionics and magic...
Apologies are quite unnecessary, Doctor.
So assuming that this supposed necromancer is dabbling with forces that shouldn't technically exist, whereabouts is she getting them from?
Nowhere a sensible person would dare to tarry.
So, did you get her phone number? Yeah. Does she need glasses?
Oh ha ha.
And have you called her?
Last night, said I'd phone her again when this is all over. Go out for a drink or something to eat.
Why wait? Seize the moment.
Oh, experts in relationships all of a sudden, are we?
Shut up.
I hit a nerve.
Shut up. I heard something.
There is something over there.
Halt! Stay where you are and identify yourself.
Add their corpses to your own numbers.
Captain, a word if I may.
Certainly, Doctor.
I need some information from your records.
Certainly, Doctor. What do you need to know?
I need some information about Caroline.
Is there a problem?
Nothing you need to worry about. I'd just like to see her file.
This is highly irregular, but I'll wait outside then.
Caroline Parker, Nee King. Unit operative, activated 14th of May 2001. Discharged 19th of June 2003. Divorced. No dependents. Macy Ferguson. Search. Oh. There has to be something here other than pictures of tractors.
Sir, Trap 7 is reporting hostiles. They are moving to engage.
Can we listen in?
Damn it! Trap 6 is only a short drive away. Tell them to drop what they're doing and get over there!
Yes, sir.
This is a restricted unit radio channel. Identify yourself immediately.
Officer Quiet, Doctor. I know you're there. I saw you leave with your soldier friends.
Who are you? How do you know me?
I'm the one you and your psychic friends seek. It is I, Mr. Frost. I am the one who makes the pretty dead flesh walk through these rotting streets. I am a seeker of Ameritat, the life eternal. You may call me Laestrygone.
Why are you attacking people, creating these abominations?
Why does any conflict occur? Resources. And how else does an empire of the dead grow, save by death?
She's insane.
Not at all. I don't limit my horizons to those of your childish view. So concerned with life, struggling to arrest your phantom's destiny. I simply realise the potential inherent in all sentient life.
Likes the sound of her own voice, doesn't she?
What can you possibly achieve with all this death?
Why, power, Doctor. I desire power, and so I collect and study those who have it, and those who do not, I collect to serve me. Soon this city will fall to the manula, my dominion will spread. For who can stop me? I am immortal. Thanks me and your soldiers will simply feed my army in slowest ranks.
Now you listen here.
Silence, bloodsack. Your naughty stag. You put your manifold soon.
I would rather die.
Poor naive little mortal. Do you not see? In life you may choose to fight me, but you will die. And in death serve me.
If you've heard so much about me, then you know how I operate. I'll never allow you to carry on with what you're doing. Stop this, now! You can leave in peace. Otherwise I will stop you. You'll have forfeited your right to mercy.
How many people have you said that to, I wonder? And how many have taken up such an offer? I actually believe there's any point I was making. I refuse. I cannot be stopped, and I will not allow myself to be stopped.
On your own head be it. Remember when you're beaten. You brought this on yourself. You had a chance.
I said that to be some hollow threat, Doctor. Soon I shall test your resolve, and if I find you wanting, you too shall serve. The time will be dead at last, and as hollow as his threats, a prize vessel for the will and the wrath of Laestrygone.
Compromises. You shall leave, as the time for the final battle is not yet to come.
Laestrygone? Laestrygone?
I think she's gone, Doctor.
Like hell she has. Trap 6, report!
We arrived at Trap 7's patrol route, sir. We found their radios and weapons. No sign of the men themselves, sir. Alive or otherwise.
Anyone at the scene? Witnesses? Anyone trying to escape?
Negative. Quiet as a grave. Sorry, sir.
Temper.
Spread out. Find something. Anything. I want to know where my men have gone.
This is bad, right? Can we fight a horde of undead commanded by powers unknown?
She's not entirely unknown. We have a name to give our enemy. Laestrygone.
I know it doesn't sound like a human name, but it could be an alien name.
It's not an alien name. It stems from Greek myth, the legend of Odysseus. The Laestrygones are a race of giant cannibals.
Oh, lovely.
The name Laestrygone translates literally as the Skin Reaper.
Something's bothering me. How did she know who I was?
Oh, you're easy to find. There are plenty of people who know about you. if you know who to talk to.
And how did she know who you were?
That's a much better question. She used my current name, and if she knew about us, why not Caroline or the captain?
Taking out Unit's local chain of command would virtually paralyse the city. So why hasn't she?
So Laestrygone has detailed knowledge of you two, but not Unit. That's suspicious.
Isn't it just? They put up quite a fight.
See anything?
Not much.
Can the sonic screwdriver detect anything other than the obvious?
Unfortunately, it's a sonic screwdriver, not a magic wand. Miss Kent's description notwithstanding. Good old-fashioned detective work is what's called for here. Holmesian deduction, elimination of the impossible.
Sherlock Holmes wasn't psychic, however.
Are you seeing anything?
A bit. I'm replaying the combat. I'm looking through the eyes of one of the soldiers.
Can you see if Laestrygone was watching?
Over there. Female, wearing a mask. This soldier was distracted by her when this revenant stabbed him. With a scythe, no less.
Where do people even get scythes from these days? Who still makes them?
I'm experiencing her talking over the radio. Oh, heavens. Trap 7. She reanimated them, like she said. They were just raw material to her.
When we get our hands on her, I'm going to make her wish she wasn't immortal.
We have yet to establish if her boast of immortality is true or not, or just a product of a deranged mind. I think we can safely conclude, though, that she is mad.
Do you know which way she went?
They fled that way. I think she may have left something behind. There's still a strong emanation from somewhere.
I wear the mask of grins and lies. It hides my cheeks and shades my eyes. From the depth of pain of the human dial, with torn and bleeding hearts I smile.
Doctor, Mr. Frost, I found something.
Don't touch it. Can you sense anything from it?
I already can. It radiates evil.
We really shouldn't ask you, but would you?
Much as I would rather not.
I'm sorry. I can feel the malevolence that has rubbed off on that thing myself. I dread to think what you just experienced.
I've had worse. I've read the minds of politicians.
What did you see?
Laestrygone is old. Really old. I saw her experimenting in her dark craft. Hundreds have died so that she could endure.
Humans have always experimented with prolonging their lives. Many of them sacrifice ethics for results. Are you alright?
I'll need more time to make sense of it all. If we return to the archives, however, that mask may serve another purpose.
Mr. Frost, have you had a good day?
A productive day, Miss Kent. A new lead has arisen.
What kind of lead?
We found this.
A mask? I don't see what you're getting at.
It belongs to our enemy. It turns out there is a necromancer at work.
She wears a mask. Why?
Same reason you'd surround yourself with undead. Fear tactics. Stops you looking human.
So how did you get it from her?
I found it.
Our necromancer was disturbed last night and fled without it.
Or she left it for us to find. The mask is steeped in psychic resonance of our enemy. Mr. Frost can use the artifact to locate that same psychic signature in the city, showing us where she's hiding.
Really? I had no idea you had such power.
Oh, I have the power. The noose is tightening on our enemy.
Is there somewhere safe we can store the mask for now?
There's a safe downstairs.
Oh, this takes me back.
Please be careful with that, Doctor. It once belonged to Alexander's.
I know, I recognise it. We put on a Midsummer Night's Dream in his garden back in the summer of '64. He played Puck to my Oberon. It's funny how time changes things. This mask looks very different now. What's that?
We are under attack.
Frost! What are you doing? Stay away from it!
What did you do?
Just an experiment. I conducted some psychic energy to surround the creature, isolating it from Laestrygone's control, and kept pushing until the connection was unmade.
Wait, an experiment? You didn't know if it would work or not?
Well, if I knew the outcome, I wouldn't call it an experiment, would I?
But that didn't seem, remotely dangerous.
Come on. I suspect we're about to make some progress.
What is it, Ms. Kent? Fancy dress party?
And we weren't invited. I'm so disappointed.
You knew, didn't you?
We figured it out.
So when we found the mask, we thought of a way to use it to find out how the enemy was getting their information. By claiming we could find out where the necromancer was hiding, we became a threat.
Not even I can pick out a single soul in a city this size. It was a ruse. We already suspected you.
What? How?
Because when we came back this afternoon and announced our plan, you referred to the necromancer as a she. We didn't tell you anything about their identity, but you already knew it was a woman.
And if further proof were needed, you've been avoiding this room, shielding your mind, deliberately steering clear of me.
Yes.
But why?
Why? Because I owe her everything. Look at me.
You're undead.
She's all that's keeping me in this world. She gives me life. What can I refuse her?
I'd rather die than be enslaved to that monster.
That's because you're alive. You have no idea what it's like to have death looming over you constantly. You don't know what it's like to die.
I've stared death in the face, seen dangers you couldn't imagine.
But it wasn't real, was it? It's one thing to be in danger of death, but quite another to experience it for yourself.
We don't have time for this. Tell us where to find Laestrygone.
I can't do that. If you stop her, I'll die.
If you don't tell us, you'll still die.
No need for that, Caroline. I may be able to help you. I'm not sure how you're animated, but your body has its own occupying consciousness. If we take you to my TARDIS, I might be able to stabilise your decay. You'll last for a while.
Forever?
No. Everything has its time. Sooner or later, everything dies. Even you. Even me. And even Laestrygone.
I'd take the deal if I were you.
Okay, I'll help you.
Right, how do you feel?
I feel good. Better than I thought.
I can't say I'm surprised. Whatever energies were animating your body, it was making my instruments complain. It doesn't originate from this dimension. The TARDIS has labelled it as dangerous and insisted on cleansing the energies from your system. Surely you must have been in pain.
I was, but it was better than death.
We've held up our end of the bargain. Your turn.
Yes, I'll show you. When do you want to leave?
Immediately.
Who told him he was in charge?
This is the place.
An abandoned church. Deconsecrated. Seems quite fitting, really.
At least the graves appear undisturbed.
We should have brought reinforcements.
A lot of soldiers getting in the way, no thank you.
Be careful. She will be guarded.
I expected nothing less.
I don't think I can be of any use in there.
It's all right. You don't have to go in. Go. Enjoy what remains of your life, Dorothy Kent. You have a few years at least to set things right.
Thank you, Doctor. And good luck.
Zombie at 9 o'clock.
Frost?
So again, as he was Kent can be trusted with my secrets after all. Never mind, I shall collect them later. Perhaps she should be promoted to a less coherent form.
That would involve leaving here alive.
Life and death are more fluid concepts than I used to be. Rest assured that I have survived worse threats to my existence than you, child.
We thought you were old. Care to tell us when and where you were born?
I'm not outstanding, you know, who will suppose past in age age. Suffice it to say that my existence has been as long as it has been fruitful. Once upon a time, I was like the ethereal mortals you had at your side. But that was long ago.
And besides, that woman is dead.
Hardly, Doctor. The girl I was became the goddess I am.
Trust me, Laestrygone, there is nothing divine about you from your outstanding.
Impressive, but impressive. I staved off deathly stuff for centuries. You little man are hardly a challenge after that.
Why are you doing this? I can understand you trying to avoid dying, but an army of dead monsters? What's it all for?
I'm creating a better world, Doctor. Living humanity is light. Their short lives and tumultuous natures so destructive. The world united under one immortal empress would be much more stable than no. Peace on earth at last.
And your armies of undead, making sure nobody gets uppity and overthrows her?
Who would be there to overthrow me when all the world is dead? Think of the benefits of the world of undead. No famine, no thirst. They do not need to eat or drink. An end to pestilence, or they care not for disease. An end to pain. For what nerves are still alive to feel? Endless industry, for they must see. And over the central unrest of the world, when only the will of their empress is perfect.
It's as far from perfect as it could possibly be, Laestrygone. We won't allow you to continue with your schemes. This ends now, by your hand or by mine.
Your most rules and Doctor. I know your plan will shut off and failure. Trying to feed me with tedium.
You do have a plan, don't you?
Not as such, no. I thought something would have happened by now.
What?
Such is the grandeur of your precious voice of you. Allow me to unburden you of your shame. I found him. I can see Frost.
Take my hand, take my hand. Let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see.
Frost, can you do that magic hand thing again?
One way to find out.
Booby trapped.
What? How?
Bomb in the chest. Crude but bloody big and armed.
An insurance policy, even if my usual tech fails to tear you apart, will last me a short any loose ends to side afterwards.
We'll soon see about that. One problem I do understand. Just a little longer and...
Hefty blighter, isn't he? I've located where Laestrygone's power is coming from. No! Get down! The thing's gonna blow! No!
My creation, my beautiful, precious creation. You made me murder it. This is not over.
That blast should have killed us all.
Psychic barrier. All that heat and fire. All those shockwaves. It's just energy, right?
You saved us.
Just an experiment. Wouldn't like to do it again. I'm afraid this is where I get off the ride.
Did you know you were going to die here?
Not exactly. The future isn't set in stone, but I had a suspicion.
Can we help him?
It's too late.
I know, but that's all right. No one lives forever, Doctor.
You saved my life. Thank you.
If you want to return the favour, finish Laestrygone. Oh, and Doctor.
Yes?
I'll tell you later. Goodbye, my friend.
Later?
Where are you going?
I have an idea. This so-called necromancer is about to find out just how much hype I can live up to.
What just happened? What just happened?
He's gone. He's gone from my life.
92.
He's dead.
Captain!
Ah, Doctor, you sound like a man with a purpose.
I'm always a man with a purpose. Right. I need that, not that, and I'm going to need at least 2 more of those. And I need them now, preferably earlier. Then we're going back to the archive. There are some things I need there too.
I thought Frost was with you.
He's dead. Laestrygone got him.
But you didn't get him soon enough. He's given us the means to obliterate her power base and leave her defenseless at last.
Miller, requisition some transport.
What are you doing?
You saw how Frost was able to break Laestrygone's control. I should be able to rig up something a little more effective. She's getting her power from an extra-dimensional source.
Right.
Well, Frost managed to isolate the psychic frequency and disrupt it. If I can set up a crystal matrix, integrate and amplify it, I can duplicate the effect on a larger scale. A couple of problems, though, like the flux ratio is a bit dodgy. It can only work once. I have to get it right first time.
You said couple of problems. Oh, don't tell me we're going to have to be next to Laestrygone for it to work.
And back to form. I've been playing with this occult nonsense for far too long. I may not be a medium or a necromancer, but I am a scientist. I'm not sure that murdering psychopath just how powerful Time Lord science can be.
3 times. Same result. She's there. I didn't think you'd show your face here.
Neither did I, but I don't really have anywhere else to go. I felt something horrible last night.
You're not the only one. Frost is dead.
No! How?
How else? She got him.
What can we do?
We? You want to help?
I do.
The doctor is in the sanctum. We need to talk to him.
Good afternoon, Corporal.
Oh, I've told you once already, I've retired from active duty. That time already. Has he taken a break from that yet?
Not voluntarily. I had to yank those tools out of his hands before we could finally coerce him into having some breakfast. Doesn't he sleep?
Rarely. He seems to run on Earl Grey and fresh air.
Sir, there are some people to see the doctor. They say it's important.
Probably the people I've been waiting for. Send them in.
What is that thing?
This is Laestrygone's doom.
Good. She killed Frost. She deserves every bad thing that comes her way.
She's killed a lot more than that.
She's not getting away with any of those deaths.
I hope not.
As much as I'm enjoying the chat, you wanted to see me?
We found her, Doctor.
We used the mask to trap Laestrygone. We know where she is. Any move she makes.
Found her? How? Frost said he couldn't do that.
With respect, Frost was one man. We are two, become one.
Here. This is where she's hiding now.
It's finished. Commander, can you provide some transport?
It's what we're here for, Doctor.
Good show. Time to give Laestrygone one last chance to give herself up.
She's not going to, Doctor. She's insane.
She's drunk on her own power. Once we use this device to take her power away, perhaps she'll see sense.
And when she inevitably doesn't?
Then I can rest easy.
That inflated sense of mercy is going to get you killed one of these days.
It frequently does.
I remember.
Time to move out.
Scene 15.
You just don't learn to before it's up. How many more lives?
You just don't learn to...
No more Laestrygone. You've taken your last.
Need me.
Familiar theme. What are you going to try this time?
Familiar
Wishful thinking.
What are you going to do this time? Wishful...
I didn't have this last time. This is your last chance, Laestrygone. I've asked you to stop before and you laughed in my face. You've reached the limit of my patience and my mercy.
Do you not have anything new to say?
Do you not have anything new to say? You bored doctor. Kill them. Science.
have you done?
Your army is destroyed, Laestrygone. Your supposed magic may have raised them one by one, but I've sent them back, all at once. Point for Time Lord science. Ah!
I underestimate you. And now you look at me like a shaft as your feet. Your precious science is easy to sunder. And after you have breathed your last I'll rebuild my empire, starting with your own course. Let's see how long you last when your mind succession. Die for me.
I have a better idea.
What? What?
The thing about messing with necromancy, you see, is that being dead isn't quite the obstacle it should be.
Vanishing forms.
I'm far too strong for your parlor tricks now, necromancy. I banish you. It is done. She is finished.
She's not dead.
She never was. Not completely.
Well, what did you do to her?
Centuries of dark power have not been kind to her. Her mind, riddled with the horrors she has wrought, was fragile. I simply allowed it to collapse.
Will she live?
For now, but she has extended her lifespan far beyond its natural limit.
She can no longer thrive on the psychic energy of her victims, and the centuries will soon catch up to her.
Unit can arrange a containment facility to allow her to live out her remaining days.
It's more than she deserves.
Quite so, but it will suffice.
What about you? You're dead. Well, you are dead, right?
Death is not the obstacle it once was to me.
But it's not possible. You shouldn't be sentient. Psychic energy does not work like that. You're displaced in time, or you're a...
Or possibly, Doctor, I am exactly what I appear to be.
Well, fine. I'll work you out eventually. I just can't be bothered at the moment, all right?
Good enough for me.
You said, when you were still alive, that you'd tell me something later. What did you want to tell me?
Ah, yes, that. I wanted to say that you will meet her again.
What?
Macy. Fate promises many more twists before you and she finally part company.
I don't believe in fate.
Neither do I. But of all the possible futures I have seen for you, she is not absent.
And what about Caroline?
Oh, you remembered I'm in the room. Well done.
You feature in the Doctor's future too, and in his past.
Told you so.
And yet you should not be here. It's complicated.
Just as unhelpful as ever.
I once advised you to make your choices wisely, but you and I both know that you will make the choice that is right, even though it won't be wise.
What's that supposed to mean?
All will become clear in time.
But first, you need to tell me something. It wasn't really magic, was it? What? Well, answer me then.
Doctor, he's gone.
Doctor, your machine worked perfectly. All of the undead just stopped. Doctor, you don't look very happy.
It's nothing, Commander. I'd just like to introduce you to Laestrygone. I'm afraid she's quite mad. Please make arrangements to have her taken to a psychiatric institute.
She surrendered?
Thanks to Frost. She really didn't get a choice.
Frost? But he's...
This whole incident has got you riled, hasn't it, Doctor?
We came, we found a problem, solved a problem, and saved the world. What's to get riled about? It's not like she won, is it?
But it's still bothering you, isn't it? The idea that it might have been, well, real magic?
No such thing.
And Frost?
I saw a man I knew to be dead appear as a ghost. Not a psychic echo or a remnant of the man, but as a post-mortem consciousness of that man himself. Every instinct I have tells me it's impossible.
Maybe you just have a lot to learn. It'd be a terrible universe if you knew everything and all the novelty was gone, right?
Maybe. I still don't like it.
Anyway, you wiped out an army of zombies with a machine you cobbled together from spare parts. That's pretty impressive. And all done with science.
You're trying to flatter me.
Doesn't mean it isn't true. What is it?
I thought for a moment that Frost... nothing. It's nothing. Anyway, shall we go? Where have I already taken you? I wouldn't want to take you somewhere again, even though I might not actually have taken you there in the first place.
Oh, for crying out loud, not this again.
Doctor Who, Laestrygone, with Steve Green as the Doctor, Alison Trace as Caroline, Lawrence Duncalf as Frost, Pam Hicks as Laestrygone, Ulisa Fletcher as Miss Kent, Rosco Wayne as Francisco, Mark Humphries as Miller, Jenny Smirthwaite as Isis, Chris Smirthwaite as Enki, with additional voices from Emma Prentice, Graeme Nott and Jamie Trace. Plymouth Who will return in our next audio adventure, Doctor Who, The Third Colony. Coming soon from Plymouth Who Productions, Doctor Who, Laestrygone.
The last communication with the captain indicated that they had discovered the presence of some sort of creature inside the manifold.
What was that?
What was what?
Something moved, over there in the shadows.
That weld isn't going to provide a hermetic seal. Bugs and parasites can still get through.
There are other types of infestation.
Such as?
We are no longer detecting any life signs from our people. We therefore must assume they are dead.
I'm in the medical bay, and on the bench there are these things, like big silver insects.
I always suspected there would be another colony somewhere.